Welcome to Can I Park Here? Brought to you by FindAFashionTruck.com. Nashay and Estrell's mission is to inspire future and existing small business owners. They don't claim to be experts. They're simply trying to figure this all out, just like you.
So maybe if I could like Okay.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Can I Park Here? I'm Nashay Snow, and I'm here with
Estrell Riles.
This is another of our one-on-one episodes. Of course, you can head over to YouTube to see the uncut video of this comedy act. You like that?
Weirdo.
Anywho, today we are talking photography, and we are also going to be talking about the best apps in order to use to edit your photography. But before we get started, we were going to read some of the reviews that you guys have left us on iTunes because we just want to say thank you.
Yes, we really, really appreciate it. Getting started, let's see, randomly picking one. Okay, from Dawn Dada. Great podcast for those with a fashion truck or interested in the fashion truck community. Very informative. Keep up the good work, ladies. Thank you, Dawn Dada.
Yeah, and we want to give a shout out to Pursuit. We interviewed him and Nate in episode 15, so lots of goodies in that episode. We definitely recommend you checking it out if you haven't already. But he was really sweet, and he left us a message today, and he said Estrell and Nashay are so relaxed and make guests feel comfortable, opening up and having a laugh. Glad they are connecting this community of fashion truck owners and aspiring owners around the country. Really enjoyed being interviewed. So thanks, Nate, for those kind words, and we really enjoyed having you on, and your podcast has gotten like a tremendous response.
Chelsea Detroit left a message or a review. So inspiring. I'm planning on opening a mobile boutique fall 2015, and this podcast has been a source of inspiration and info. You ladies are doing a great job. Talk to you later.
Thank you. And then last but not least, we want to give a shout out to Randomly Picking Sparkly Jewels Boutique. She says, I love this. So inspiring to hear other fashion truckers' stories, their struggles. I get new ideas. This podcast has moved to the top of my podcast love list. Thank you, ladies. So, we just want to say we really appreciate all of the love, the tremendous support from not just the fashion trucks, but other boutique owners, and then just other listeners that love hearing stories about, how people build businesses. Like, thank you for listening, and thank you for taking the time to review us, to leave a comment, to subscribe to us. It just means a lot to us because we put a lot of work into it. And it also helps us out too by making our podcast a little bit more popular. So then we could get like more exposure and then bring more exposure to this community. So thank you.
Yes, we really appreciate it. And we are trying to move up in the ranks on the new and noteworthy list in iTunes. And to do so, we need to get as many reviews as possible. And if you could do us a solid and go and leave us a rating and leave a review, we'd love you to death forever and ever and ever. So just go to www.startafashiontruck.com/rate and review.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So what should we start with first?
Let's start with PicMonkey. So basically what we're doing today, we're going to review a bunch of free online tools and apps for you to use for your photography. So photography is required for pretty much everything, especially when you're working with social media and if you have a website. So if you're taking your own photos, you want to make sure that you edit them so that they are as perfect as possible, because that is a representation of you and your business and your product. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have to take pictures with your cell phone, that's perfectly fine. We have apps that you can use that are free that you can just download and, edit away. And then you can just post right into Instagram or Facebook or feed them to whatever social media accounts that you want to use. So with PicMonkey, PicMonkey.com, this is a free online tool that is actually really great. It gives you tons of free options, but you also have opportunity to sign up as a member and upgrade. And when you upgrade, it unlocks tons of new features that aren't available for free. So you don't have to pay for it, but it is a plus if you do upgrade. So basically, how PicMonkey works is, unfortunately, they do not have an app at this time. So you would have to use a desktop or a laptop in order to edit your photos. So you would basically just upload or slide or drag and drop your photo into PicMonkey in order to begin editing it.
Something like that.
Right. So you have the option to resize, change the exposure, rotate images, crop. You can do overlays. You can add effects, all types of stuff. So the most common one that I use is the resize tool inside of PicMonkey, because take, for instance, for our blog post on startafashiontruck.com, the images, ideally you want your images to be within the constraints that your platform allows. So you don't just want to put random images inside of a blog post or your homepage that are, 5, 6, 7 different sizes. You want everything to be the proper size. Like, what is ours, Nashay, for Starter Fashion Truck? 740 by 400 for like the thumbnail, and just with the 740 max for within the blog.
So a couple of things. So if it's in the blog and it's a pinnable image, it's 740 by 900. If we're going to use that same image for Instagram, then we tweak it a little bit so it looks good at 740 by 740. And then our thumbnail image is 740 by 400. So whatever we use has to look good in all three sizes.
Right. So if I'm doing our Feature Truck Friday post and I'm, scrolling through websites or Facebook photos trying to find images to use for that blog post, then I'm going to have to resize all of those photos so that they look good on our website. And I use PicMonkey for that. So all I do is import the photo and click on the resize option. Now, if I was using a photo that I wanted to use specifically for Instagram, then what I would do is go to the crop option and I would click on square. Keep in mind that all of the Instagram photos are going to be in square format. So, when it comes to sizing, this is simple and easy. There's no skills required to use these tools. But if you want to get a little bit more advanced or technical, then you can go to the left-hand sidebar. There are several little images there. Now, if you scroll down to the little butterfly, that is the overlay section. What that does is overlay means basically you're adding things onto the top of your image. So if you are posting something on Facebook or your website of products and you want to put your logo on it, the overlay tool is perfect for that. So all you would need to do is make sure you have a high resolution version of your logo, and you can upload it to PicMonkey and place it on the image anywhere you want. And once you place it on the image, it gives you the option to, you can fade it, you can resize it. The options are limitless. You can also add text. So if you click on the text button, it allows you to, you can choose your font, and then you can place text boxes anywhere on the photo as well. And once you click on the font that you want, just start typing, and it'll automatically add it once you click off of the photo. Then if you decide to move it around, you can do that. It's PicMonkey is freaking awesome. Did you want to add anything, Nashay?
For PicMonkey, no.
Yeah, and see, Nashay, she's a little bougie, and
I knew you were going there. I
she's
knew you were going.
the big time graphic designer, blah
Here
blah
we
blah.
go.
So of course she uses Photoshop, woohoo, and Illustrator. Now, by the way,
I
I have a little, just a teensy bit experience with Illustrator, and I freaking hate it. Like, it's just
okay.
way too complicated. So,
Wait, Illustrator
for
isn't even in this because it's not a
but I'm
photo
just but
editing.
I'm just
Okay.
saying. I'm just saying
Okay.
that you're bougie, and those are the tools that you are used to working with. So you frown upon, stuff like this. So,
No.
with that being said, if you do not have any type of photo editing skills, this is the perfect online tool for you, because it's very user friendly, and it does a great job. Like, you can really do some good photos with PicMonkey. And once you play around with it for a little while, you'll get the hang of it in no time.
Yeah. Um I think it's great for people who want something that's very easy to use. It seems like it's a very intuitive program. You don't have to have really any tech skills at all to figure out how to operate it. It's made so as soon as you get in it, you could pretty much like figure out what it is, what the tools are, and how to manipulate like different images. So I think it's great.
Yeah.
Now go ahead.
You can also design flyers in this online tool. PicMonkey is perfect for that. So you don't even have to necessarily upload a photo. You can start from scratch and design your own image. So you can, if you're doing a flyer or something like that, all you have to do is, you can pick a background, you can pick graphics, you can pick the text, everything to create the flyer that you need. Also, it gives you the opportunity to do collages and things like that. So you could take those collages and those flyers, save them, and have them printed up at another vendor.
Yeah. So, um, did you have anything else to say about Canva before, excuse me, PicMonkey before I talk about like Canva, which is the other uh like editing photo editing software people sometimes use?
No, I'm good.
So, I'm not going to so Astro just gave you guys like a great um detailed explanation of PicMonkey. I'm not going to do that for some of the other things that we're going to mention. Know that Astro is going to also work on a video that takes you through like how to kind of navigate your way around PicMonkey. So if you haven't already, please head on over to our YouTube channel, and you could just do Find a Fashion Truck, or just go on to, like, you could just search Find a Fashion Truck in YouTube and we should come right up. But we'll also have links in the show notes for this episode. So if you search PicMonkey, it'll come right up. And I think people who are looking for like a more detailed explanation on how to use it for their photos for Facebook or their blog or Instagram will find that really helpful. Now, another one that people use is Canva. And it's so funny. Like, okay, Astro makes fun of me because, she says I'm a snob for using Photoshop, which I'm not. It's just I'm trained in Photoshop. And if you're a graphic
Supposedly.
designer, you use primarily Adobe products. And they do have like a Photoshop Lite too. And people who aren't trained in graphic design use Photoshop all the time. So
This is a myth.
you take a class, you learn how to do it. I mean, because the crazy thing about Photoshop is even if you're like a graphic designer or somebody or a photographer that uses Photoshop on a regular basis, Photoshop is so big and has so many features. Like I don't think there is really anyone who knows like all of Photoshop's capabilities. So you basically learn to do what you needed to do and maybe some other like advanced functionality, and then that's it. So you can definitely take training to learn it if you're looking to do more advanced things, and you probably could find training on Skillshare might have training for it, and it's escaping me the other place you could get training for it. It'll come back to me. If I can't think of it before the episode is over, I will include a link to places to get training in the show notes. But as far as like if you don't feel like using advanced software, but you want like quick photo editing software that's available on the web, another option to consider is Canva, Canva. It There is a learn like what I've read online because I don't normally use it, but there is like a little bit of a learning curve. But sometimes people prefer it, not all the time, because it has stock photos, like some like cool layouts you could use, and then like more, I believe more font choices maybe than PicMonkey. So it really kind of depends what you're looking for because sometimes people tend to go towards more PicMonkey because PicMonkey might have more functionality in other areas. So I would suggest like messing around with both and then really determining which one is right for you.
Yeah.
So those I think are the big three, right? So you have Canva, you got PicMonkey, and then you have Photoshop. And as far as ranking like ease of use, I would go PicMonkey, Canva, and then Photoshop. If there are any photo editors out there that you guys think should be on this list, then please leave us like a comment on the show notes, and that way like other people can like test out some of the other possibilities or options that are out there. But we also
Especially, sorry, Nishay, especially if you
okay.
know of any free tools, because that's the thing. When you're just starting off in your business, you're not, and you don't have any prior Photoshop experience, that stuff is expensive for that
Mhm.
software. So if you don't have it in your budget to invest for, that type of software, then the free tools are what will save your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So take
And
advantage as much as possible.
yeah, and also know that at least for Canva and PicMonkey, they are free, but they do, of course, have like premium services that you could use if you want to. And then like the stock photography that you use, most of it you have to pay like $1 or something in order to use it. So there are some like upcharges, like if you really want to get fancy with it. But right, the base price is nothing; it's zero. It's free, which is great.
Yeah.
But we also wanted to talk too about some of the apps out there. And, I just want to do two things even before I go there. I recommend checking out episode 3 of Find a Fashion, or excuse me, of Can I Park Here podcast, because we interview Lakay Umba and she gives everyone like some tips and tricks for photography. So one, I definitely check that out. Two, we're about to go into like talking about a couple of apps that might be beneficial, but I recommend going on startafashiontruck.com and then just search like apps, for example, and you'll get an article that we came up with 50 top apps for your businesses. So it's not only has photo apps, but it has like other business apps that you'll find very useful for just day-to-day stuff. Um, but so as far as like photography, and if you're on YouTube, you'll see me like looking at my phone now because I'm like, what do I have on here? I,
Weirdo.
I thank you.
Emerson.
I will tell you guys that even though I have Photoshop, like I'll do it for our blogs and things like that, but primarily for just random stuff like IG or things like that, I use this puppy. This is my friend. My phone is my friend. Okay. So if I can edit something on my phone, I'll do it because sometimes that's quicker than editing it in Photoshop.
Wait, Nisha, you know what's funny? So you
What?
remember that one time when I had all those photos to send you and I ran out of room on my phone for
Mm-hmm.
the iFi?
Yeah.
I had to delete like almost all of my apps. So the only photography app that I have now is PicLab.
That's it?
That's it. So hopefully my other ones are still in the cloud, but
It should be. That kind of breaks my heart. She knew that would break my heart because I have like 70 apps on my phone.
yeah, like 10.
Hey, I need you to upgrade.
I refuse to buy more storage. I just can't.
Oh my goodness. But so here are some of my favorite apps for your photography, especially if you want to do like something really nice for your IG account or your Pinterest account or just any account at all. But a lot of times people use these for especially Instagram. The top one is ViscoCam, and that is VSCO Cam. Love, love, love this app. The great thing is they have like really good filters if you choose to use filters. And then they also have it where you can control like the brightness and the contrast and do some other really cool things to wash your photo out or clean it up or help the contrast or reduce the noise. So I find that it's really easy to use. Just kind of mess around with it to kind of figure out like what style you're trying to achieve with your photography. And once you figure that, you just kind of go back into it and use almost the same settings over and over again. Of course, you have to adjust slightly depending on, what kind of look you're going for and the quality of the photo that you're trying to edit. But that one is like awesome because you used to have that one on your phone, right?
I deleted it because I didn't understand it. It
Oh,
was
wow.
it was a little overwhelming. Like it
Mm.
wasn't to me, it wasn't as easy as like a diptych or PicLab or, you know, it's just it was way too much going on. And it just seemed too much for me at the time.
That's
So
fair.
I got rid of it.
Wow. I mean, dang. If I figure out, maybe something for me, like, well, you guys let me know, like, on the show notes, if you want me to, like, figure out how to, like, screen record my phone, then I will show you guys how I use ViscoCam. And it's really, really easy, but, I don't want to do it if no one really cares. But if you want to know, like, I'll even put
Wow.
a screenshot of some of like the photos that I've edited maybe in ViscoCam just so you can see like the quality of the photos. Because if you go to our IG account, you might not necessarily get a sense of how we've used it because a lot of the photos that we use in IG are reposts from like awesome fashion trucks that we that we find in our feed. But yeah, just let me know. But I would definitely recommend it. I think it's if you really want your photos to look polished and good, then I think it's worth getting to know it. Okay. So if you want to add text to your photos, I actually recommend two apps. And of course, you could do this in PicMonkey and in Canva and in Photoshop. But the thing about it is, if you're out in the street and you want to do it on the fly, and even if you're at home and you're lazy and you want to do it on the couch like me, use use PicLab, just PICLAB, which is super easy, great. And the next one, I
Wait,
actually
but
have.
hold on, Nashay. Now, tell the people that not to be cheap. Tell them what you told me, because when I downloaded PicLab, they have a free version, and then they have a version that costs like $199. So
Yeah.
Nashay made me download the one that cost money. I was pissed, but I did it. Because
Here's
she
okay.
knows I hate paying for apps. But when you get the paid version, it unlocks a whole bunch of different
Yeah.
features.
Yeah.
Like
And he-
you get the overlay feature with the upgraded version. And you know how when you edit a photo sometimes in an app and you repost it or something like that to social media, it'll have um, their logo somewhere in it. Like it'll have PicMonkey. What do you call that?
like a
Uh,
little watermark or
the
something.
watermark. It'll have that on there. So when you upgrade to the paid version, it eliminates the watermark, which is
Hmm.
great. You don't want to have watermarks on your photos.
No, I mean, I feel like that's so tacky
Yeah, if you're a
because
professional, you don't want that.
no, because here's the thing, and sorry, people out there, if you've done it before, I'm not being judgy, I promise. I don't want to live up to Astrel Snob label of me.
But you will eventually.
Shut up.
Give you a little time.
But no, no, no. So here's my thing on paying for apps, right? Like sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to pay for apps. But my whole thing is, and maybe I'm an artist and you are too. So maybe you can understand this too. But the thing is, like the people who are creating and updating this app, they gotta eat. I think sometimes people just nowadays everybody expects everything for free. And it's like, really, you can't pay $2 for something that's gonna completely like change the game for, the photos on your
This is
social
why I
media
hate
account.
talking to you.
You know?
Like, I remember way back when we got into an argument because I wanted to give you a CD that I burned for you. You know what I'm saying? Just so
Mm-mm.
you could have it, but you didn't want it. You wanted to go out and buy your own CD so that you can quote unquote feed the artist. Like, and they're not even gonna get that money really.
So
So do
here's
you
the thing.
see how weird you are?
It's not
Like,
that. Like
if
I so okay, okay, so we're going to go off on one little tangent. If you're like buying something from like someone who's with one of those big recording labels, so the amount of money they get from it, okay, that's debatable. But the thing is, I do believe in supporting artists. So I buy like a lot of music. Like, for example, I love Leon Bridges, and it's so awesome. I actually heard one of his songs on iPhone commercial. And I was like, oh my God, he's made it. But anyway, the thing about it is like I would never buy like a burn or get a burned CD of his. Like I would always want to purchase it and make sure that I'm supporting him because I know that he's probably worked hard to get where he is and I just want to make sure that I'm supporting the artist.
from the 50 cents that he will get from your sale,
He will
because
get more than 50
the
cents.
rest will go to the company.
Wow. But the thing is, he's going to get something, and I don't want to take food out of his mouth, right? I mean, if you think about it. And so I'm not saying shop smart or not to be smart about the money that you're spending. But the thing is, when it comes to apps, if you pay like $1 or $2 more to get rid of the watermark and get more fonts, like that you're going to get that $2 back like tenfold, like even more than that. It's like it's worth the investment. It's $2. Like people spend $2 on lottery tickets and there is like no way. Like it's like a 1 in a million chance you're going to like win it. Or people spend $2 on coffee. It's like don't drink coffee that day and upgrade the app. Okay, but okay, off my soapbox. You put
Thank
me on
you.
that soapbox too.
Okay.
But God. But the point is, PicLab is awesome. If you can't afford the premium version, eye roll. Um, then the free one is just fine, especially if you don't know if you're gonna like it. So here's another thing too: if you don't even know if you're gonna like something, I always do get the free version, and then if I find myself using it all the time, then I will pay for the upgrade. So it's like you just have to be smart about the app purchases. Another one that's really big, in all honesty, I haven't used it a ton, but so many people endorse it that I've downloaded it so I could use it more in the future, is Word Swag. And this one you could do like a lot of cool things, a lot of like almost like little kind of quotes, and it just has like a lot of funky things that you could do with like not only pictures but creating like little sayings or posters for your social media account, which are really huge right now. You can put that on Pinterest, whatever. You could do whatever with it. But those two, as far as putting text in your pictures, I feel like are the number one apps. And just to kind of finish up here, just with apps, Flipagram, if you want, and that's another one like you have to pay 99 cents or something so the Flipagram won't show up bottom right. But I definitely recommend it, small investment to look professional and polished. Because, and another thing I'll say about that too is if you're not using it for your business and you're just doing it for friends and family and yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, keep the Flippergram on it. Who cares? But for businesses, you just want to promote yourself.
Yeah. And Party Party is another app that's similar to Flippergram. So Party Party is pretty cool too.
Yeah. But I think that is really all I have. I have like some other apps on here, like, but I don't really use them that often, like Camera Plus and Tada and Afterlight. I got Diptych, which like allows you to cut your photos up in several different pieces. And I have uh like PickFlow. So I don't really use those as much. And I don't know, I must have put it in the wrong place. I don't know if you remember Estrell, the other app that you could use on Instagram that'll cut like your photo up in three different, oh, it's called Giant Square. So if you
Yeah.
guys ever go on Instagram and you see where people have like three, like a picture that goes like three squares across, or maybe it'll be like all six squares, you just use this app called Giant Square and it'll do it for you.
Yeah. So like cuts one image up into like, just think of like a puzzle. You're putting several square puzzle image pieces together.
Hmm. But other than that, that's it. God, can you tell I'm kind of passionate about my apps a little bit?
Little bit. Yeah, I was wondering like how long you were actually gonna continue talking about it.
I'm sorry, people. I did. Okay, I'm a tech junkie, so when you get me started, I sometimes I can't stop. But I hope that you found it useful and that you're downloading some of these cool apps now, because I really do think they're going to change the game when it comes to you editing your photos.
Yeah. So, just keep in mind that with your websites and your social media pages, you can't just like throw random pictures up and expect them to be okay, because that's not hot. You
Yeah.
have to be professional. Make sure that all of your, just like the products that you sell, you want to be quality. You want your appearance on social media and on your website to be quality as well. Make sure that, it's something you want to look at. If you're not happy with it, don't post it. Please
Hmm.
don't. Because I go to a lot of websites and a lot of people's um, Facebook, feeds, and I think to myself, oh my God, like, why would they post that? The picture is blurry or pixelated, or, they didn't even bother to crop out the weird background or something like that. Like, just just don't do it, people. Just
Yeah.
edit.
And then also to be really, really careful with filters.
Yeah.
If you can avoid using them and just take a really good photo, that's best. And I say that as someone who likes to use filters sometimes because maybe I want like a faded look or something like that. But be very careful because I've also seen like photos where you could tell like where the contrast is too high or it makes the photo look weird or grainy. So you'd be surprised just your regular photo just messing just with the brightness and the contrast, just a smidgen will really make it look rich and pop. So just be very careful. And if you do decide to use filters, know especially for social media accounts like Instagram, you probably want to use the same one or two filters over and over again in order to give like your account like a unified look. But just
Hmm.
just use with caution.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's it. I mean, if you guys have any questions, if you have any questions about uh, PicMonkey, Canva, or Photoshop, especially PicMonkey, because Estrella, that is her jam. Um, that was cheesy, wasn't it? But
I
if
have
you
no
have
words.
if you have any questions about that, or any of those, let us know. Like even Photoshop, like I know my way around Photoshop. Canva is probably the only one where we wouldn't really be able to answer too many questions about it. And if you have any additional apps that you think we should check out, App Junkie here, please post them in the show notes so I could check them out. Seriously. I love my apps. Or if you use one of the apps and you just love it, let us know too.
Be sure to go rate us and leave us a review. startafashiontruck.com/rate and review.
Absolutely. And if you go to startafashiontruck.com and search in PicMonkey or Canva, um, photo editing, the show notes for this episode will come right up. We'll have links to everything that we mentioned. And thank you again for being awesome. Thank you for your support. And definitely let us know if there's like a topic that you would like us to cover. All right.
All right. Thanks for parking here.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.